Hi friends, welcome back to Feed the Sheep podcast. I'm your host, Kelsey Keeling with Balanced Ruminant Grazers. I'm a wife to my soulmate Ryan, mother of 4, daughter of Christ, who is always working to be a Proverbs 31 woman. Join me as I share my passion for hair sheep by taking you along as we work to create a balanced sheep flock of Australian whites in South Central Kansas. I hope these episodes and conversations not only educate you, but inspire you to add our sheep to your farm someday. Now let's get to talking sheep. Hi guys, welcome back to the second episode of Feed the Sheep podcast. I'm so excited to have you guys here. I'm so excited to be starting to film these 100 episodes and just put this into motion. And yeah, so let's get into it. We're continuing on about our 5 things that you need to know before getting sheep. So yesterday we went over know your goals. Today we're going to go over sheep biosecurity. The scripture for this episode is out of Proverbs again. I tried to get all of these scriptures to kind of be, about your path, about your goals, and this one fits right along in there. So it's Proverbs chapter 16, verse 9, and it says, "The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps." So I really like that one. Okay, so sheep biosecurity. I will definitely be diving into more on sheep biosecurity, like the full range of a couple different diseases that we've run into or I've kind of learned about talking to different sheep producers, and also just on forums I've learned about a couple different ones that we definitely want to stay away from, and ones that we would rather not even consider putting ourselves at risk for having these diseases. But like I said in the last episode, knowing your goals, you're gonna be able to establish how your path is taken. So sheep biosecurity, so we know that we would rather not vaccinate, or we would like to try not to vaccinate for the broad ranges of diseases that sheep can get. Not going too deep, but if you were to look up the different diseases that sheep can get, let me just tell you, as a new sheep producer, like it's going to be okay. You need to not go down the rabbit hole. I have been there many times and been like, oh my goodness, you can get what and this and oh what, and that's how this is transmitted. How do you not? I don't know. There's way too many things that sheep can get, and I feel like cattle are a little different, that they're not as prone to as many, maybe, I don't know, that's just from my experience. But where was I going with that knowing your goals of what you want your sheep flock to have with biosecurity down the line is going to determine what you do. So like we would like to try not to vaccinate for as many diseases as possible. Try to keep our sheep low input. Like I said, we'll have to go into it more on another episode. But just like the cascading effect that you get from one disease, and making sure that I don't know how to explain it the best, but making sure that you don't introduce one disease and then you have the effects from that going into your breeding cycle, and trying to make sure that you are compensating to not have that disease, and then it turns into a slippery slope is what I'm trying to say. And so we have chosen to do genetics, like make sure that our genetics are right, and then keep a very closed flock and make sure that we aren't bringing genetics in from all over, that we're picking out selected breeders to start our sheep flock with, and try to minimize our risk of biosecurity that way. But like I said, we'll have to dive in more on like testing and different diseases that we've come across in our short time with sheep, and I don't know, give you guys a little bit more of a rundown with that. But those will be coming up in a future episode. So to round this episode out, just be thinking of your biosecurity plan when you are establishing your goals with sheep, or you're thinking about
putting sheep on your farm, because you need to know that before you bring them on the farm. Let me tell you, I've learned the hard way. You got to know what you're okay with and where you're getting your sheep. Otherwise, it can turn into bad things. Like I said, I'll have to go into that on another whole episode. To give you guys a brief overview of what happened, we went and got our sheep from a producer that we thought we were in line with, got to the farm, and they were feeding a little bit more grain than we would like, and there was a couple different like little red flags, and super nice people. Ended up, they were just, telling us all this information, which was great, but they sent us home with sheep that had a disease, and we got home, did our own research, and realized that we did not want these sheep on our farm, and ended up sending them back to the farm within a week. Thank God the people took them back. Thank goodness, it all worked out. But it's just a hard lesson learned that we had, and I want to be able to help other people make sure that they don't have those mistakes. So that's another reason why I started this podcast. But okay, I rambled enough. Next episode, we'll be going over research breeds. So I will see you guys in that one, and we will see you tomorrow. Okay, bye guys.